welcome to September's edition of Lions Pride. I'm Steve Murray, the principal of Chelmsford High School, and I'm here joined by Dean Josh Blagg, Dean of Hawthorne House, and our host, Mr. Al Thomas. We're here to celebrate September Students of the Month. And our first student of the month is from Emerson House, and it is Lindsay Ambrosino. She is a real gifted student. She's currently pushing herself with 6 AP courses. She's in National Honor Society. She's a class marshal, as all our kids are this month. She gets excellence in mathematics awards, and she's committed to playing softball at WPI and will study biomedical engineering. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I noticed that you were involved with the mentoring program for freshmen. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because a lot of the people at home don't know about that program.
Yeah, so the Freshman Mentor Program is a really awesome program for incoming freshmen. There's juniors and seniors are mentors, and every junior or senior that's part of this program gets to mentor two or three, usually 2 freshmen. And you just help out on the first, second day of school. You help them show where their classes are, help them go through their schedule, and answer any questions they have. And throughout the year, every month, we go to see our mentees in their plus blocks, and we get to talk to them, see how they're doing, see how freshman year is going, and it's really awesome to have that connection between an older student and a younger student. And as a freshman, I remember it being really awesome.
This year, the freshmen went in a day early, right? Did that help?
Yeah, I think it's really helpful for them because it's such a big school and there's so many people in the school that it can get really crowded. So on the first day like that, the mentors just help show the freshmen where they go, and it's a lot easier for them because it's not as crowded.
After the school gets started and they know how to get to class, which is usually the first problem, what kind of issues do you see popping up that you have to kind of help with?
Well, there's just different things around the school that they're not used to doing, so every month when we go, we talk about different things. So we might talk about mid-years and what that entails, something like pep rally, tell them all about Spirit Week and everything to expect. So it's just stuff like that as far as what to expect in the coming month.
You're captain of the softball team. What are the challenges of being a captain of a team? I know there are some.
Yeah, well, being captain of the team is tough because you have all of your friends, but you also have to be a leader, and you have to find the balance between leading the team and helping out and making sure you're setting a good example, but also still remaining a good teammate. And it's just kind of that balance and communicating with the coach and all of that.
You went to the MIAA Sportsman's Summit. What kinds of things did they do there?
So that was last year, and it was a really cool day. It was at Gillette Stadium, and they had just all different speakers about all different things related to sports and sportsmanship and mindset, and it was a really cool day. We got to go see different speakers and just giving their 2 cents about what they think is a good way to be a good sport, and just it was really awesome. It's a good day.
Have you talked with the coach at WPI? Did you discuss how to balance academics and softball? Because WPI is, I mean, you're brilliant, but it's a good school. It's a challenge.
Yeah, I've talked with her a lot. She's a really awesome coach, and she makes sure that she can help you structure your schedule around practices, but they're also understanding of the fact that all the students there are there to get a really awesome education, and they understand that. So she helps you along that process.
Will you be having labs in your subject areas,
Yeah,
because that's usually the area where you run into problems with conflict.
And she's understanding with that. She knows certain classes meet at certain times only, and she knows that. So.
Do they have a lot of other freshmen coming in? Do you know?
I think there are going to be 4 or 5 other freshmen in addition to me. Yeah.
It's different for the first people, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's kind of a community that you're already in when going into college. So.
Oh, that's big. Everybody going to school should find a group, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You've done a great job at Chelmsford. I'm sure you will with WPI.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Rotary, I want to give you this plaque.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next student of the month is from Emerson House as well. It's John Mieszczanski. Just like Lindsay, he is pushing forward with 5 AP classes in common law and something like business as a track, as well as humanities. Dartmouth College Book Award, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and in his free time, he's also a 3-sport athlete. So we're excited to have John here with us today and celebrating his achievements that he's done over the last few years. Welcome, John.
Yes, welcome. First thing that caught my eye is that you went to a couple of programs or institutes at BU and UMass Lowell. I imagine those were pretty challenging. Could you tell us a little bit about what you encountered?
Well, at the UMass Lowell one, I did that a couple of years ago, and it was more of an engineering-focused program. And it was like designing like sports equipment, and it was really cool. There was like you put like motion sensors on people and like how they move when they swung a bat or swung a club or something. And there was different project groups, and my group actually made like foot soles out of foam for like. They weren't the greatest, but we did our best though. It was a really good experience though, because you also got that dorm life feel, but also like.
Yeah. Well, that's a big. I think they have a whole building for innovation. I think now, don't they?
Yeah. The maker space.
The Kinder girls won $10,000 for inventing something along the clothing line. I think so. What about at BU?
For BU, I focused on. Took 2 courses, law and international relations, because that's kind of like what I'm more interested in now, and I might want to go into. So those classes were. Like with actual like BU professors, and it was like a classroom environment, and it was a lot of like like liberal arts classroom teaching, and it was I found it really interesting because it was like just like kind of like a high school class, but you like and stuff you're really interested in. And the same thing, like we got to stay in the dorms, and it was like 2 weeks, so it was like a real
Yeah, that's good.
It was a grind.
Yeah.
It was a fun time though, good experience.
Well, for some kids it was their first time away from home. It's kind of a shock. So it's good to have that experience.
I think that's the longest I've probably been away from home.
I know that you've been involved with the mock trial team. Maybe you could talk just a little bit about what that is, again, for the people at home probably don't know.
Well, for the mock trial team, we during for the first couple of months, what we do is we prepare this case. Like we're given a case from years in the past, and that kind of helps sharpen and build our knowledge in objections and how to ask questions. And then in October there's an actual case that comes out, and then we have to study that, because that's what all the other mock trial teams in the Massachusetts get the same case, and everyone's racing to find all the hidden gems and questions to ask. And then come I believe it's January, that's when the actual trials happen, and that's when we have you have all your questions memorized, all the there's witnesses, there's direct lawyers, cross lawyers, everyone has their questions memorized. It takes a lot of memorization.
Were you a witness or a lawyer?
I was a witness last year.
Yeah, well, those are key to I used to be involved with that a little bit, and some of the best witnesses are people from theater. They don't have anything to do with law. They're just good actors and actresses. But it's a great. What court did you go to? Do you remember?
We went to the Lowell Town Hall for for the preliminary stages, and then for we made it to the round of 32, and we went to Clark University for that, and we lost to the team that won the whole thing. Unfortunately,
it's a lot of work.
Well, we won at one year. I don't remember what it was, but we have won the state championship before. So I noticed also that you liked going traveling, and you've been to some of the national parks. Which ones have you had a chance to go to?
I've been to Yellowstone, Yosemite.
Wow.
I've been to Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii.
Was there anything that really stood out in your mind about just really shocking or very beautiful or whatever?
Just all the wildlife. You just go to these places and you're like, wow, there's so many different things in the world. They're all so different. In Yellowstone, you had the buffalo and the bison, and Hawaii, you have all these weird birds and stuff.
Did your family, do they have a camper? Or?
No, we generally just fly out and hike a lot and stuff like that.
Oh, very good. Again, you've had a great career here at Chelmsford High School, as all of our people have today, and those of us at Rotary wish you the very best, and here's a plaque you can remember us by.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Hawthorne House is really excited to announce our female student of the month, Rachel McGinn, who's an outstanding student, much like everybody else here today. Rachel's in 5 AP classes, also taking a course called Biotechnology, which really relates directly to her interest in maybe majoring in biomedical engineering in the future. She's been very active in the National Honor Society, serving as the Community Service Chair She's also serving as the president of the science team, and she co-founded a club called the Poets Society that just started up last year. She's also very much involved in Lyme and Girl Scouts, a longtime member. So varied interests, but whatever she does brilliantly. So welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you had the forensics? Sometimes I assume that they've had the course. Have you had forensics?
I haven't, but
Okay.
it was something I've always been interested in. So I decided that since
Do you
we
know what
didn't
they
have,
do?
Yes. So in forensics, it's about analyzing different substances or fingerprints to, generally in crime, to try to figure out what happened.
Well, that should be very interesting. One of the things that I've noticed is that you've added a lot of kind of specialized courses, which is great.
True.
And so you're very fortunate to have all of these electives. And we had a pretty good number of electives when I was there 100 years ago, but they've really broadened this on. I noticed that you're also Community Service Chair for the National Honor Society.
I am.
Could you talk about what your major projects have been or will be this year?
So upcoming this year, we're running Hunt for a Cure again. We're stuffing backpacks this Friday or Thursday. And we want to hold a fundraiser as a movie night for all the hurricanes, all the damage that's been done.
Great. Could you just explain what Hunt for a Cure is?
Hunt for a Cure is a fundraiser for the Paul Center, and they have cabins where different clubs and organizations can run a cabin to show kids what Halloween's all about and to raise money for autism.
It's quite a fun fundraiser. If you get a chance to go, you should. It's mobbed. Kids love it. My kids loved it. It's fantastic.
I'm interested, Rachel, if you could talk a little bit more about your newfound interest in establishing the Poet Society, because most kids who are really involved in math and science not necessarily delve into reading poets. So talk a little bit about how you got that started, what sparked the interest and the passion in that. It's great that you're so well-rounded, so if you could talk a little bit about that, it'd be great.
So I've always liked both science and English, but I felt like at CHS we didn't have really many poetry units in our English classes, and I wanted to do more with poetry, and so did one of my friends, so we decided that if we could make a club where we can work on poetry every month and read and write and talk about it, that would be great.
That's awesome. Now, when you go out, you've been so involved in so many different venues at Chelmsford High School. When you go off to a lucky school in the fall, next fall, what are your plans on immersing yourself in that new environment? Do you know what you might want to get involved in at the next level?
I definitely want to be involved in volunteer organizations, just like I am at CHS. I think I still want to do writing and science because I really like both of them.
Very good for you. What sparked the interest in biomedical engineering?
So last summer, I took a 2-week course at WPI, and they had a unit in biomedical engineering where we got to see their labs and talk about what they do and the research they've accomplished. And I really liked it. I really liked all the research that they're doing and everything that they're doing to help.
That's wonderful. Before you probably have time for another question or so. Could you speak to somebody who's made a big impact on your life at Chelmsford High School? Teacher, coach, advisor, somebody who's you'll look back and be like, wow, they really made a profound impact on me.
I'd say Mr. Cordemonch. He was my freshman year English teacher. I have him again this year. And he runs peer tutoring, which I'm also a part of. And he got me interested in teaching other kids and helping other kids to learn, even if they don't really get it in the classroom. So I can help kids in math, science, English.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You're a jack of all trades. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's great to have you.
Well, best of luck as you move on. Do you have a preference out of these terrible schools that you?
I think I'm going to apply to Dartmouth early decision.
All right.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank
and
you.
On behalf of the Rotary, here's a little plaque to
Thank
remember
you.
us by.
Way to go. I'm also happy to, introduce Ameya Bhat as Hawthorne Male Student of the Month. Ameya is an extraordinary student who has a wide range of interests and talents as well. He's taking 3 AP courses, a new course called Mythbusters, which is really popular. And now he's also taking 2 math courses at the college level because he's already exhausted all the math courses that we offer at Chelmsford High School. He's taken a discrete structures at UMass Lowell and then an online course through MIT called multivariable calculus. So he's certainly raised the bar for himself. He's very motivated. He's involved in National Honor Society. He's captain of the speech and debate team, and he is a coordinator for the science organization. Just an outstanding kid. He has a wide interest. He's looking to major in math and computer science, and he has a particular interest in artificial intelligence. Just really cool, interesting kid. So congratulations on this award. Well deserved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know Mark Maybury by any chance?
I do not know.
Well, he was the top civilian with the Air Force, and he's written books on artificial intelligence. He lives in his daughter is at Chelmsford High School, so you might be interested in getting to know him.
Yeah.
He lives pretty near here.
I think I know his daughter.
Yeah.
I'm friends with his daughter,
Yeah.
but I don't know him.
Yeah. Well, ask her if he could come over for a little while.
Yeah, right.
Okay. One of the activities that's really taken off in the last few years, and it goes kind of in spurts, is a speech and debate team or organization. Could you talk a little bit about what they do and how it has perhaps benefited you?
Yeah, so basically there are 2 different realms. I'm more involved in the debate side of it. So what we do is every month there's a different topic that we talk about. We deal with topics on international relations, foreign policy, things about like whether science and technology are benefiting us. So the topic for this month is whether South Korea should build up its anti-missile systems. So it's a really interesting foreign policy topic, and it's a good one to start the year off with. I think it's really helpful for everyone to learn public speaking, and entering this kind of club really gives you an opportunity to hone your skills in a small setting. So I think it's really helped me become a better speaker.
That's great.
Are there any certain topics you prefer to debate than others?
I, as a rule, prefer the foreign policy ones. I think they're a lot more interesting, and that's generally what I lean towards. One of the more memorable ones was last year in January. We did one on whether or not the United States should increase its military spending. So that one was a lot of fun.
And very debatable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
I wonder if you could talk to the moment you realized you loved the math and computer science, and that maybe artificial intelligence in particular is something that really fascinates you. What sparked your curiosity?
I think with math, I've always been fairly good at it, but it was really in my sophomore year that I realized that I loved doing algebra and pre-calculus, and I loved seeing where everything came together. And then my junior year, when I took calculus really puts everything together. So it was really fun for me to see everything that I've learned over the past 5 or 6 years come together in one subject. And that's what pushed me towards moving from, I was debating over a physics major to a math major. With computer science, so my dad and my brother are both computer scientists, so I've been kind of leaning that way for a while, but I spent a couple summers looking at different types of artificial intelligence, and constructing those types of intelligent designs and machines seemed really interesting to me.
So best case scenario, you go to one of these great universities that you're interested in, and you get that degree. What would be the dream job for you?
I think I really want to end up doing research at one of those universities. So I would spend some time, maybe on the West Coast, and then do research in artificial intelligence or machine learning or something like that.
Do you have family on the West Coast?
I do. I have an uncle on the West Coast.
That's good.
That would have been a real adventure if you did, right?
Those are great schools.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last question for me is, much like I asked Rachel, has there been a person who's made that big impact on you, who's made a lasting mark that you'll look back and say, wow, they really lit the fire under me, or made me believe in myself, you name it?
Yeah, there are actually 2 teachers I want to mention. So the first is Ms. Dulamis. So she was my math teacher for sophomore year, and she's really the reason that I love math the way I do. The other person I want to mention is Mr. Zopes. I had him for history, and he's also the coach of the speech and debate team. So he's really like helped me become a better speaker and practice giving speech and being better at what I love to do.
Yeah, I think you could give me a few pointers, so thank you.
Well, you've created an outstanding record for yourself, and it'll be interesting when we hear when you're one of the top people in your
Yeah,
field.
we'll be
in a
hearing
few
from you again, I
years.
think. Yes.
So best of luck, and
you.
on behalf of the Rotary, here's a little plaque for you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Our next student of the month is from Whittier House. It's Isabelle Geada. Isabelle, just like the people before her, lots of AP courses rounding out her schedule, but she also couples that with a lot of great interest in our music. And with that, she's in our National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, CHS Symphony Orchestra, and which I like, one of her achievements is the National Hispanic Recognition Scholar. And just like a few of the others, she's going to be studying biomed as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask a simple question to start with. What's Senior Odyssey?
Senior Odyssey is just the lower level English class.
Oh,
It covers
sorry.
all the
I didn't mean
topics.
to put it there. You can say.
It's
There's nothing lower really about it, but it's
No,
new
it's
not
senior-
AP.
It's new senior English.
Yes,
It's just a new
yeah.
name for it.
Actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
survey course now. Yeah.
Because, as you heard me say earlier, there are all these either new names or new courses
yeah.
being educated. I noticed that you are involved with Lyme. Perhaps you could talk a little bit about the major projects that Lyme's involved with, because it's an acronym a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, so LIME stands for Leadership in Motion Everywhere, and so we couple leadership with the value of volunteering. So our main project is the 24-hour relay, which usually raises about $30,000 for charities, local charities, and that happens around May. And so basically we just have a ton of students up on the track staying for 24 hours, walking around and raising money.
Could you share some of the groups that have received grants from the Lyme?
There's so many.
So people get a sense of the kinds of people that you're helping.
So we donate some to the school, Lowell Wish. I think the firefighters may get some money.
Probably.
Yeah.
Food pantry, I think it is as
Yep.
well.
Yeah. So there aren't that many sources of extra money like that, and even Meals on Wheels. I know one year that they gave the packaging for Meals on Wheels, which is obviously kind of essential to the program. So it's a great program.
Isabelle, I see that you're the president of the CHS marching band.
Yeah.
A few years ago, before Mr. Sexauer took over, it was pretty small. Now it's pretty robust. Over 115 members. I think we ran out of uniforms. We had so many. So it's certainly thriving. What do you take from that? What's the biggest takeaway from that experience? Because it is such a subculture in our school.
It's amazing how such a family. People always say that band is a cult, and it truly is.
Well, I said subculture. You can say that.
Yes, we're all such a family, and I've created such a great friend group from that band. I've grown up in that band. It truly fosters amazing people.
It does. It makes us very proud.
Yeah.
Have you traveled with the band?
We have gone to Washington, D.C. and Disneyland.
Okay.
Cool.
Which trip was your favorite?
Oh, Disney was amazing. I've never been. It was so great being with friends.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's great that they have provided those extra opportunities.
Yeah.
Because traveling's great, isn't it? Yeah.
What's the National Hispanic Recognition Scholar that you received?
So it is based on your GPA and SAT scores. So you have to have a minimum SAT score and a minimum GPA of 3.5. And you must have a family, furthest away must be grandparents, that was born in a Hispanic region. So my dad was born in Spain, so I qualified for it.
Oh, that's
You've been to
fantastic.
Spain?
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
That's wonderful. You're also obviously very service-oriented. Where are your roots in that? Is that something that you learned doing growing up with your family, or just started getting involved in at the high school level?
So my brother attended the Chelmsford High School, and he was participating in the Key Club, and so I kind of learned from him that it's a fun experience. So I started volunteering when I got here, and it's a great way to meet friends and do something great for the community.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the same question. Is there that one person in the building who has made that big impact?
I would say Mrs. Collins, who was my chemistry teacher for 2 years. She really pushed me to my
The
limits.
tough lady, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And she definitely sparked interest in science even more.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
You're a brilliant teacher.
Before you run off, could you tell us where you might be going to school?
My top choice is Case Western Reserve in Ohio.
Okay, well, good luck. I hope you get there.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Little
Thank you.
plaque.
Our final student of today's program honors Whittier House student Lam Tran, who is a true gentleman and a well-rounded student himself. He's in, 5 APs himself. Quite a student. He's in the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society. He's a member of the math team and the science team, class representatives, but he's also in some kind of smaller clubs like the badminton club, the Magic, and the Gathering Club. So he has a wide range of interests. And whatever he does, he excels in. He's looking to major in computer science with a focus on cybersecurity. Congratulations and welcome, Lam.
What schools are you looking at?
Well, primarily my top school would be Cornell, which would be one of my dreams, and Rice University looks really nice too.
Well, they're not too close.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you been to both of them?
Not yet, but I'm trying.
Because I think it's important to see places.
Yeah.
Cornell's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wonder how Rice weathered the hurricane.
That is one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. I just wonder, yeah.
I'm trying to stick to schools
That's Houston,
around
isn't
here.
it? I think.
Yes,
Rice? Yeah.
Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stick around here, but if need be, it's always fun to explore.
Sure.
Well, I know that you and one of our other students were involved with the Science Olympiad. Could you tell us what your project involved?
So in science team, we do a lot of things. We go to these tournaments and compete against other schools in a variety of events. It could be from biology to chemistry to and physics and stuff like that. And last year at States, I competed in a game the event called Game On, which involved making a game on Scratch in 40 minutes that followed a set of rules and a theme of something science related. And I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, except the 40-minute,
Yeah.
It goes fast.
The 40-minute rule, we had to rush a lot to get that done.
The other day at Rotary, you talked about the importance of your culture and how you'd like to, give back on that. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, because I think it's a different kind of thing than the other kids had.
So something very important to me that I hold to my heart, and partially because I was raised by my parents this way, is the fact that I'm Vietnamese, and this is something that I hold close to me as a part of my identity. And it's something that makes me unique, and it makes me it's the foundation for my own beliefs and for my morality is what I see it as. And there is a parish in Lowell that I go to, and there's this huge Vietnamese community there, and every week I go there to teach CCD classes to keep in touch with my own religion and also my own culture, because it's a matter of self-discipline and morality that I see it as.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up. It's a different way of approaching things. I think it's great. So, we've said similar things, but we have, the top students in Chelmsford High School, so we're very proud of everything that you've accomplished as citizens of the town. The whole town should be proud of all 6 of you, so congratulations and best of luck, and here's a plaque from Rotary Club.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Congratulations. Great having you.
Congratulations, Lam. Good for you.
And that concludes September's edition of Lions Pride. Please join us next October, this October in a few weeks, for October's edition of Lions Pride. We'll celebrate October's Students of the Month. On behalf of Dean Blagg and Mr. Thomas, I want to say thank you to everyone, and we'll see you next month. So, have you been to either?